Welcome back to Eva's Kitchen. I'm Eva and this is Eva's Kitchen, but we're not in the kitchen today. We're at Eva's Breakfast Nook. As you can see, the holidays are over. We've done all this storage and cleanup for the holidays. I changed my decor colors, so I want to share with you my new table setting in my breakfast nook. So I hope your new year has started off wonderful. And take a look around and meet me back in the kitchen. We're back in the kitchen. So we're going to be making cornbread muffins with a kick. And the kick will be jalapeno peppers and cheddar cheese. And guess what? We won't be making corn muffins with milk today. So we're going to get an extra bonus tip on how to make this cornbread without milk. So let's get started. Okay, these are our ingredients. This is my dry ingredients. We have a cup and a half of cornmeal, self-rising cornmeal. I also put 3 tablespoons of flour. I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda in it. Even though it's self-rising, I always add a little extra to make sure it's nice and fluffy and it rises pretty. So 1/4 teaspoon. And I'm going to be using, we're going to put our liquid in. We're going to use some canola oil. But you can use any oil of your choice, vegetable, any oil of your choice. So I'm using canola. So I'm going to put a tablespoon. That's 1. I'm going to do 2. And once I stir it up, I can tell if I need to put a little bit more in there. And I sprayed my pan with Baker's Joy. And the reason I use Baker's Joy when I'm baking, because it has flour in the spray. So that way they come out nice and fluffy. We're gonna just use 1 egg. And I'm going to put in my jalapeno peppers. cheddar cheese. And our tip for today is sour cream. That's where we're not using the milk. The sour cream can be a substitute for milk, and it makes the muffin nice and fluffy and moist. So it's gonna almost taste like you've used buttermilk. So we're only gonna use a tablespoon. This is 1 tablespoon. I'm gonna put 2 in there. And once I start to stir it up, I can make this is a heaping helping of a tablespoon. So let's get it stirred up and see. We don't want it too soupy, and the egg's gonna help to gel it together. And it looks like I'm gonna have to put, I might have to put a little bit more, but I'm gonna keep stirring just to see, because we don't wanna put too much in it because it won't rise and it'll get flat. It won't be fluffy because it'll be too condensed with too much milk. But we're not using milk, but we're using sour cream. And that's the tip of the day. Instead of using milk, you can use sour cream. Now this is the consistency that I wanted. I didn't want it too soupy. Okay. And you don't overbeat it either because it'll make it too dense. I'm gonna take my finger and get all sour cream ingredients off the back of the spoon. I'm looking for a little. Yep, that's about right. Let's see. So I put in 2 big tablespoons of sour cream. That's the substitute for the milk. I'm gonna wash my hands right quick and then we're gonna stuff. And I did, as you notice, I only put in, I didn't tell you that I put in 1/4 cup of cheddar cheese. I didn't want to put a 1/2 cup in it because I didn't want to overpower it with just a cheese taste. I want you to get a little bit of cheese and a little bit of jalapeno peppers. And when I did the peppers, you didn't see me do it, but I took the peppers, I took the seed out, and then I chopped them fine. So this is about 3 tablespoons of jalapeno peppers. I didn't put the whole pepper in there because I didn't want to overpower and make it too spicy. But by taking out the seeds, it gives you, it doesn't give you that hot flaming flavor taste, but it will give you a hint of spice. I'm stirring this, but I'm thinking you might want to put in just a little bit more of sour cream, not that much more, less than a tablespoon. Because as I'm stirring it, I'm having to work too hard to stir it, and I want to feel it, the looseness of it. And I also forgot to tell you that I put in my dry ingredients, I put in 2 tablespoons of sugar. It's not gonna make it too sweet. It's gonna give it a nice creamy texture taste. Put in 2 tablespoons of sugar. We have our cheese, jalapeno peppers, flour, which is 2 tablespoons of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1.5 cup of cornmeal, which was self-rising, and we put 2 and maybe 1/3 cup of, tablespoons of sour cream. Now, it's a little bit looser now than it was when I was stirring it. So, let's see. Some people use ice cream scoop to scoop it in. And I'm gonna use this tablespoon. I'm not gonna make it too full because I don't want it to cook over the pan. So this should make about 6 muffins into 7. And come back and get it later. And I'm thinking to make about 2 nice 6 muffins. I hope the holidays was fun, and I hope everybody's New Year's starting off in good health. And we had a good holiday in our family. I need to use my spatula, but my hands are clean. I'm gonna get all these ingredients out of here. Put a little bit more over here because this one was shallow. Now, as you notice, I didn't run the pan over with milk. And as you can see, it has a little density to it. It's not soupy. And we didn't want to make it soupy because we wanted it to rise up and have a nice shape to it. So let's preheat our oven to 400. And we're gonna bake it for 20 minutes. And if you're like me, you get busy in the house and you forget. But once you smell it, you know it's getting ready to come out of that oven. So let's put it in the oven. And at 400, preheated. You're gonna bake them, and we're gonna have yourself a cup of coffee, cocoa, and come back and we're gonna see what we made. Okay, let's see what we got here. Turn the oven off and let's take a peek. Let's see. Ooh, look at there, you guys. Ooh. Look at there. Whoa, that looks good. Okay. I can see some of the jalapeno peppers sticking out. And look what we have created. Now, when you take them out of the oven, give them a few minutes to cool down, because I'm afraid if I pull it out now, it might just tear apart. But from looking at them, they look perfect and they smell delicious. So, look what I have. I have me some apricot jelly and butter. You also can put a little bit of honey on it, drizzle over it, but I'm not gonna do that because I put a little sugar in my mix. So I'm gonna take my knife and just lather on a little bit of butter while they're still warm. Oh, and some of the cheese popped through there. See, if I had to put over too much cheese, it'd have been too cheesy. So I just want to put a little bit of that there, butter, and let it melt through. I'm gonna cut one. I got myself a cup of tea, and I'm gonna taste one. Let's see how nice. Look here. Look how nice they came out. That baker's joy is a joy to cook with. So get yourself some. Let's see what we got here. I got my apricot jelly. Look at there. Look at there. Oh, look at there. Oh my God. This is wonderful. This is a wonderful muffin. Put a little butter on it. I like jelly. I'm a jelly girl. Apricot. I'm going to share with my producer, and my producer is my daughter. So she's a southerner, but not a southerner. So I'm training her to try to eat corn muffins. So I'm gonna give her one while she's filming. And reason you see it crumbling a little bit because I didn't cut it too soon. You gotta let it cool down before you start to cut into it. And they just come out of the oven. This is wonderful. Cheers to the new year. Okay. If you like what you see, tell a friend, hit the subscribe button, come back and see me. And these muffins would be great with chili, soup. You can even eat them in the morning for breakfast with a little jelly the way I did. So, remember, I'm Eva, and this is Eva's Kitchen. I'll see you next week.